CT, your cooperating teacher, allows you to do that, if you'll think ahead and put those questions on your slide set, the questions will be much better than if you shoot from the hip with them. And you'll remember every period to ask them, because that is really difficult when you start teaching 6 periods. You won't remember what question you've asked. You'll just be on remote, control. And then the discussion techniques. How well are you asking students to respond, explain their answers? Are other students able to jump in on their own and add something to the discussion? So for the student participation, and then the indicators are high cognitive challenge. So if you go to that Bloom's Hess Costa handout and see what kind of questions are the higher level ones, that's going to go in your slide set. Okay. The quality of multiple correct answers or multiple approaches with a single correct response. If I ask you what color this table is and you say black, that's not a good question. That's a single response, so that would not be good. If there are multiple responses, that might be, what are situations, let me think here. What are situations that you might find wine cups out in the environment? Well, one of them is that you're going to find them in ditches, that you would have done this already, okay? You would find them mostly in ditches or wet areas or areas that would be submerged frequently, if you would. So that the quality of the responses that you're going to get. The effective use of student responses, so it might be Daniel gives a response and you might say, that's a good idea. Paige, can you add to that or build on other students' responses? And then the discussion in which the student teacher steps out of the central modeling role, I think that's going to be hard to do for student teachers. It might happen if you've got a really great class that's going to work with you on it, but I think that's a good idea, but I think it's difficult to do. And then the high levels of student participation, that's going to go back to your calling on non-volunteers. You do not want a class where it's only a few students that are answering. So the indicators then, if you, level 4, which actually the student teaching division has decided there's not going to be even a chance for a level 4. None of the student teachers are at a level 4. That's the highest you can be, and very few of us are there. So they're saying that the other levels, 1, 2, and 3 are involved. So a level 3, there might be some low-level questions, but if you're putting them on your slide set, they should be pretty good ones. There might be some lower level ones, but if you follow up with good follow-up questions, you might start, softball to the kid that is shy or whatever, and you're following up with some other question. And even have that discussion with the cooperating, your university supervisor afterwards about why you gave a softball to that student. Poses questions designed to generate thinking and understanding, and the student teacher creates a genuine discussion. I think that goes back to what Daniel was saying earlier about really having a good discussion. It's not just the teacher calling out questions and students answering.
Now, is this framework used to evaluate teachers, or is this just like, what is this used for?
This is going to be used to score you on your teaching and student teaching, Danielson framework.
And this is
Very similar to the T-test, which is being used on the teachers to score them,
I've
to
heard
evaluate them.
RTOP as well.
No, I think our top is science. It's not. It's not general.
But and is this based off of one class period? Or is this over many periods? Because everybody knows there are bad days where things just don't go right, and then
3 observations, maybe 4.
That's so stressful, isn't it?
No, well, it's
For
not.
us?
Yeah,
It is not stressful with my student teachers, because they are ready when they go into that classroom. And so the only thing they need to do is grow. I have had, in the last 5 years, I have had one student teacher that did not do what he was supposed to do. He was addicted to gaming, you know, he didn't do the kind of things that he should have been doing, and, I mean, that's just rare. I mean, it's rare that I have student teachers that it's anything but good. Cooperating teachers love them because you come in so well prepared. You jump right in, you don't sit and wait for somebody to tell you, you know, what to do. So the idea of scoring, if you're under my supervision, I'm gonna come in the first time, I'm gonna have you actually score yourself first. And you probably should be giving yourself some 2s, because if you don't give a 2, you don't have any room to grow. So that's the idea, is, you know, student teaching is a growth time.
And speaking as someone who is not her student teacher and watching her student teachers, if you are one of her student teachers, you are by far much more prepared than your peers. Not everyone does the 3 days before the first seminar a month into school, and that's when you meet your supervisor.
Yeah, we do about 18 hours worth before you go into the classroom. We review all these best practices, we look at videos, and you practice looking for them. You know, you become more aware of what the expectations are here.
What, that's like in August before school starts?
Well, if your student teaches in January, it's gonna be January before school starts, but I won't be supervising you. They took you all away from us. Sorry.
Are you supervising us?
I should.
Okay.
Okay, so, there it is in terms of looking at good questioning strategies. So there's some really good examples if you look at 3s and if you look at 1s. So 1s, low-level questions, single correct answers, yes, no, one word, you know, ask in rapid succession, you don't have any kind of discussions with it. You have, the interaction is predominantly recitation, which is one right answer, you know, just like that. It's just rote, you know, there's no buy-in, if you would, of learning for it. The student teacher is correcting the answers for the students instead of having the other students. Can you explain that better? Would you like to add to his answer? And then you have letting a few dominate, so that's why you're going to use that non-volunteer. Nope. All right, so if y'all will pass them up this way. And all of this is on the student teaching website, all of this information. And they're training videos for y'all for this. So that should not be a problem. And that's all we're going to talk about on that. Let's look at Wednesday. So you're going to come to my house.
Next Wednesday?
Huh?
Next Wednesday?
This coming Wednesday, right?
No,
is
it's
it
next
not?
week.
Oh,
Next
it's next
week.
week.
Yeah.
Oh, well,
Our
let's-
insect lab.
okay, well, never mind. Let's look at this Wednesday then.
Do we need our bugs fired Wednesday?
She's
Pardon?
gonna bring some of them,
Oh, I only have one.
right? Wait, what am I looking at? Wait, it's the 11th. Maybe that's not insect lab.
Okay, so
Insect
on
lab is
Wednesday,
next Monday.
Wednesday the 11th, you have some tracks assignments.
PU.
Pardon?
Sorry.
Do what?
I was just making a joke because it's PU mine, so I was like, PU. It's been a long day.
You need to drink a cold water.
When the day cold kicks
All
in.
right, so where we're going with this, and you can tell again with your colored syllabus that all of these parts kind of fit together to make you ready to student teach. And that's kind of, I think, what Megan was reiterating there, that you will be, and that putting all of these pieces of those puzzles together. Again, I'm reviewing a lot of general best practices. These are not specific to science. They are general best practices. When we start getting then into the framework and the NGSS, et cetera, and the observing and all of that, that's when we start getting more specific into science pedagogy. So up to now it's been pretty much generic, and then we're going to get it more specifically into that. Then Sunday, no Bamberger trip, you scratch that out, right? All right, and then on Monday the 19th,
The 16th.
the 16th, yeah, sorry, looked at
That's
the
when we need to
year.
bring our
Yeah,
ends.
the 16th there, again, that's just digging deeper and deeper into the science, so all of this has to do with science. So the insects are due, we'll have the insect lab then on the 16th. You're gonna be bringing in some samples to work with.